Welcome back, Outlaws. On this episode, we're going to be doing an unboxing, a review, and first use of this Milwaukee M12 FUEL battery-powered mini chainsaw. So stay tuned. I've been looking at these for quite some time now. I've been used to using my chainsaw and my loppers, but a lot of times when I get up in the tree or whatnot, this was pretty heavy. It works great, and the loppers, you can't always get around what you need to cut. So I wanted something a little smaller, and did a lot of research and found this made by Milwaukee. I've had quite a bit of luck with their equipment in the past, and I chose this one model, and it was the kit. So it came with a battery and a charger. Now you can buy the tool alone, but then keep in mind you're going to have to go out and get a charger and a battery to go with it. And for me, it was just easier to buy it as a kit, so I didn't have to go and search out all that other stuff. It says it'll cut, 3-inch branches or hardwood, and you can get about 120 cuts per charge. We're definitely going to test that out. So enough talking about this box here, and let's get it open. All right, here we go. Let's see. Okay, it looks like we got a little tape here on this end. Turn it up on end here, see what we got. It's the charger. That accepts those M12 batteries. Pack in here. Instruction booklets and things. Have to go through all this stuff. I won't bore you with that. If I see anything that is relevant, I'll go ahead and share it. Okay. Looks like we got some paperwork to review. I also went ahead and got some bar and chain oil to keep it lubed up. I think there is a reservoir on this little unit here so that you can put chain lube in there. Bar and chain oil. All right. That's what it looks like before we get it opened up, pulled out. Yeah, that's going to be a lot lighter, and this battery I don't think weighs too much either. Let's pull this out of here. There we go. I'm going to want to read the instructions first. Check that out, because I'm pretty sure we're going to want to put a full charge on that. Let me check these bad boys out, and we'll get back to it. Before I do any reading, this is just a quick view of exactly what came in the box. Our chainsaw, our instruction booklets, operator's guides, whatever, the battery, and the charger. After checking both of these out, basically this one's for the battery charger. There's really not much in there, just kind of gives a little information. How to charge the battery pack, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You just plug this in there. Now when you get a new piece of equipment like this, I kind of recommend giving the battery just a cursory charge. Just put it in there and let it charge up, and it'll tell you if it's got a full charge or not. So it's kind of doing its little thing now, and as soon as this battery's got a full charge, it'll turn green, and then we'll fire it up and see what it can do. Now, getting back to the manual on this, it's just basic, you know, the handle, the trigger, and this does have a variable speed trigger on it. So that's kind of standard with you know, these electric chainsaws. And also you have your oil reservoir for your bar and chain oil to go in, and it's kind of important to keep that full too when you're using it. So we'll give this battery a full charge, we'll top it up, and we'll get some oil in the reservoir, and we'll put it to the test. Now we got our battery topped off. We'll go ahead and put that in. It goes right in the back here. Just push it in, and here you should hear it click. Just like that. One thing I did notice is it's a little tight getting out, so you're going to have to wiggle it back and forth and pull kind of hard to pull it out. But other than that, it goes right in like that. Over here is our reservoir, so we can go ahead and get our bar and chain oil in there. This will really help the machine out when it's cutting. It'll keep that chain lubed so it doesn't bind up. Now that we got the reservoir filled, you can see in the window here the dark color, so as it gets lower you'll be able to see the level. When it gets down to about here, it's time to go ahead and put a little bit more in there. I should have used a funnel, got a little extra where I didn't need it, so we'll get that wiped up. And let's check this chain out real quick. So I think this is the one with the 6-inch bar on it, and I think the next step up, maybe the M18, it has the 8-inch bar on it. But I'm just looking to cut small branches and things that are hard to get with the larger chainsaw. Okay, I think we're ready to go try it out. Let's test it on something real easy first. I always recommend just kind of running it a few seconds, you know, before you use it, just to give that oil a chance to get the chain lubed up. There should be something here that's real easy. Okay, there's one I need to get rid of right there. All right, let's give it a quick shot and see how quickly this does. Push the trigger release in there and have at it. Here we go. Like butter. I think this is going to work out really good. Now let's go test it out on some heavier duty stuff. I've picked out 3 different size pieces of wood here. This isn't really hard wood. This is pine. It's one of the softest woods out there to try and cut. But that's all I have right now. And I've got some other green stuff we'll cut on too. So let's see how quickly it goes through this. I'm not going to be going out logging or anything. I'm just going to be using it to cut up small pieces of wood around the property, pruning limbs and things like that, and other landscape needs. So let's try this. Not bad. I mean, that'll work for me. Here's one that's a little wider than they suggest. This is probably about 4 inches. They say 3 inches, so let's see what it does. And the battery died. I guess I was pushing it too hard. Yeah, I'd pushed it too hard. It has a little safety feature in there where it'll cut the motor out, which is good. It's a good thing. All right, let's see if we can cut some of that wet stuff next. Here's a Palo Verde tree that I've been meaning to do some pruning on and reshape it a little bit. It's kind of growing off to one side, and I want to promote these 2 branches here to take over. So I think this will be a good test for this as well. We'll clean that up later. It's just to get the main branches out of the way. It's what I wanted to try it on. these things have a lot of thorns on them. I don't know if you could see that, but pretty wicked. So I'm going to cut this one off, and it'll leave these two to take over. Get the weight off of it first. Alright, let's cut it here. Then I'll come back and clean this up, and that should give that a pretty good growth pattern right there. It's also going to help with trees like this pepper tree that get all this sucker growth on them. Clean this up. Made quick work of that. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a great addition to my yard tools. Now, after we're done using the saw and before we put it away, I wanted to show also that it comes with this little tool right here. It's got a little bar on the end, shaped kind of like a common screwdriver. And what you're gonna want to do is come in here, and if you have any debris, sticks, or twigs, you can use that to pull that out. But over time, this chain is going to stretch out, especially after you first start using it. So right here is a nut, and this tool fits right on there. And you can use that to adjust the tension on your chain. You can do that, and you can adjust the bar in and out, and that'll keep your chain right at the right tension. Have a little play in it, and that'll help this thing last a lot longer. Well, with the small amount of testing that I did on fairly soft wood, it was pine, this thing went right through it. I tried it on wet stuff, I tried pruning a tree with it, and it did really well. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an extra battery so that I have one charged, or maybe even two, I don't know. But all in all, man, this is a lot easier to use than the loppers and can get through some of that harder stuff. And it's a heck of a lot lighter than my big chainsaw. So maybe in about a year, I'll do a year review and see how this thing's still holding up. But so far that I've tested, it's going to be great. I can't wait to get around the rest of the yard and get some work done. Well, if you like the review, share it with somebody. I hope you found it useful if you're looking for one of these things. And we'll see you in the next video. And as always, thanks for watching.